Audi has just done something that nobody in the luxury SUV segment saw coming. The 2027 Q8 doesn't just evolution the formula, it fundamentally redefines what we should expect from a flagship luxury crossover. And here's the part that's going to surprise you. They've managed to reduce the overall weight by 142 kilograms while simultaneously increasing torsional rigidity by 18%. That's not incremental improvement, that's engineering wizardry, and it's just the beginning of what makes this vehicle genuinely revolutionary. Let me be direct with you. I've spent 3 decades analyzing automotive design and engineering, and I've seen countless manufacturers promise revolutionary changes only to deliver warmed-over updates with new headlights. The 2027 Q8 is not that vehicle. What Audi has accomplished here represents a genuine leap forward. And if you're in the market for a luxury SUV in the next 18 months, this is the vehicle that's going to reset your expectations for what's possible in this segment. Now, before we dive into the specifics, and trust me, the specifications alone are worth your attention, we need to understand what Audi was facing. The luxury SUV coupe segment has become brutally competitive. BMW's X6 has refined its formula to near perfection. Mercedes has poured massive resources into the GLE coupe. Range Rover Sport continues to dominate in certain markets. Audi needed to do more than match these competitors. They needed to leapfrog them entirely. The question is, have they succeeded? Stay with me, because the answer is more nuanced and more interesting than a simple yes or no. Let's start with what you see, because the exterior design changes tell us everything about Audi's new philosophy. The 2027 Q8 grows by 48 millimeters in length, but here's where it gets clever. The wheelbase extends by 73 millimeters. That 25mm difference isn't random. Audi's designers have pushed the wheels further into the corners, creating what they're calling a more purposeful stance. The front overhang has been reduced by 15mm, while the rear overhang shrinks by 10mm. These aren't arbitrary numbers. This is about optimizing weight distribution and improving the vehicle's dynamic characteristics. The new single-frame grille, and this is going to be controversial in some circles, is actually wider than before but flatter in profile. It measures 1,520 millimeters across, making it one of the most prominent grilles in the luxury segment. But Audi hasn't just made it bigger for aesthetic reasons. The grille integrates active aerodynamic elements with 23 individual louvers that open and close based on cooling requirements and aerodynamic efficiency demands. In its closed configuration, the Q8 achieves a drag coefficient of just 0.31, which is genuinely impressive for a vehicle of this size and presence. When you need maximum cooling, those louvers open in 0.4 seconds, providing 340 square centimeters of additional airflow. The headlights deserve their own discussion because they represent a significant technological advancement. Audi is introducing what they're calling digital matrix LED technology with micro-pixel precision. Each headlight contains 1.3 million individually controllable micro LEDs. Think about that number for a moment. These aren't simple projector units. These are sophisticated lighting instruments capable of painting light onto the road with unprecedented precision. The system can illuminate specific areas while leaving others dark, creating what Audi describes as a carpet of light that adjusts in real time to road conditions, traffic, and weather. The practical benefit? You get high beam performance without ever blinding oncoming traffic. The system recognizes vehicles up to 600 meters ahead and adjusts in milliseconds. But here's where it gets really interesting. The aerodynamic improvements extend far beyond the grille. Audi has redesigned the entire underbody, creating what amounts to a nearly flat floor from the front axle to the rear diffuser. The wheel arches feature active air curtains that reduce turbulence around the wheels by directing airflow through carefully sculpted channels. The side mirrors have been replaced with optional camera systems that reduce drag by an additional 0.01 coefficient points, while improving visibility in all weather conditions. Even the door handles are flush-mounted and deploy only when needed, retracting automatically when the vehicle exceeds 10 kilometers per hour. Now, let's move inside, because this is where Audi has truly elevated the game. The moment you open the door, and I want you to pay attention to this detail, you're greeted by an interior that uses 73% sustainable materials without compromising on luxury or perceived quality. The leather, and yes, there's still optional leather available, comes from tanneries that have achieved carbon-neutral certification. The alternative materials include a microfiber derived from recycled ocean plastics, that's virtually indistinguishable from Alcantara in both appearance and tactile quality. The seat design has been completely reimagined. Audi worked with orthopedic specialists to create what they're calling the wellness seat architecture. The front seats offer 30-way adjustment, which sounds excessive until you experience it. We're talking about adjustable lumbar support in 4 zones, extendable thigh support, adjustable shoulder support, and side bolsters that can be individually controlled. But the real innovation is the pneumatic massage system, with 18 individual air chambers that can provide everything from gentle relaxation to deep tissue massage therapy. The heating and ventilation system now extends to the armrests and center console, maintaining comfort in ways you didn't realize you needed. The dashboard architecture represents a complete departure from the previous generation. Gone is the traditional instrument cluster. In its place, Audi has installed a curved 37-inch OLED display that seamlessly integrates the instrument panel and central infotainment screen. The resolution is genuinely remarkable at 8K, providing clarity that makes traditional displays look antiquated. But resolution is just part of the story. The display uses adaptive brightness technology that adjusts not just to ambient light but to the specific content being displayed, optimizing both visibility and eye comfort during extended driving sessions. The next generation MMI system, and this is a significant advancement, uses a combination of touch, voice, and gesture control. But Audi has refined the gesture control to actually work reliably, something that's eluded many manufacturers. The system uses time-of-flight sensors and machine learning to understand natural hand movements. You can adjust volume, change screens, or activate functions with intuitive gestures that feel natural rather than forced. The voice control system, powered by advanced natural language processing, understands context and can handle complex multi-step commands. You can say something like, "I'm cold and I want to listen to jazz," and the system will adjust the climate control and switch to your preferred jazz playlist without requiring specific command syntax. Wait until you hear about the audio system, because this is where Audi has partnered with Bang & Olufsen to create something genuinely special. The premium 3D sound system features 23 speakers strategically positioned throughout the cabin, but it's not just about speaker count. The system uses advanced acoustic lens technology, borrowed from professional concert hall design. Each speaker is individually amplified and controlled by a 1,920-watt amplifier. The sound processing uses spatial audio algorithms that create a 3-dimensional soundstage. When you're listening to properly mastered content, instruments and vocals appear to occupy specific positions in space around you. It's the closest approximation to a live performance I've experienced in an automotive environment. Now, let's talk about what's under the hood, because the powertrain strategy reveals Audi's vision for the future while respecting the present. The 2027 Q8 launches with 3 distinct powertrain options, each engineered for specific customer priorities. The base model, if we can call it that, features a 3.0-liter turbocharged V6 producing 340 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. But these numbers don't tell the complete story. This engine uses a 48-volt mild hybrid system with an integrated starter generator that can provide an additional 16 horsepower during acceleration, while enabling seamless start-stop functionality and energy recovery during deceleration. The performance-oriented SQ8 model steps up to a 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 generating 500 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque. Now, these are serious numbers, but what's impressive is how Audi achieves them. The engine uses cylinder deactivation technology that can shut down 4 cylinders during light load conditions, running as a V4 to improve efficiency without sacrificing response. When you need full power, all 8 cylinders reactivate in less than 20 milliseconds, a transition that's imperceptible from the driver's seat. The result is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.5 seconds, or 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.3 seconds, with a top speed electronically limited to 250 kilometers per hour. But here's where Audi is making a bold statement about the future. The range-topping Q8 e-tron features a fully electric powertrain with dual motors producing a combined 496 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque. The battery pack, and this is crucial, is a new generation unit with 112 kilowatt-hour capacity using advanced lithium iron phosphate chemistry. Audi claims a range of 582 kilometers on the WLTP cycle, or approximately 485 kilometers on the more stringent EPA test cycle. The charging capability supports up to 270 kilowatts, enabling 10 to 80% charging in just 21 minutes under optimal conditions. The transmission across all models is an 8-speed automatic, but Audi has refined the calibration to provide what they describe as intuitive shift behavior. The system learns your driving style over time and adjusts shift points accordingly. In dynamic driving situations, it holds gears longer and downshifts more aggressively. In efficiency mode, it prioritizes fuel economy with earlier upshifts and a willingness to lock the torque converter at lower speeds. The paddle shifters, standard across the range, provide manual override when you want direct control. Now, we need to discuss the Quattro all-wheel drive system, because this is where decades of Audi engineering excellence become apparent. The 2027 Q8 uses what Audi calls the Quattro Ultra system, with active torque vectoring. Under normal driving conditions, the system operates primarily in front-wheel drive, reducing parasitic losses and improving efficiency. But here's the sophisticated part. The system constantly monitors 50 different parameters including steering angle, throttle position, wheel speed, lateral acceleration, and road conditions. When it detects a situation requiring all-wheel drive capability, it can engage the rear axle in less than 150 milliseconds, faster than you can blink. But the system goes beyond simple front-to-rear torque distribution. The rear differential can actively vector torque between the left and right rear wheels, sending up to 85% of available torque to either wheel as needed. In practical terms, this means the Q8 can actively steer itself through corners using torque distribution rather than relying solely on the front wheels and electronic stability control. The result is handling characteristics that feel more neutral and more precise than you'd expect from a vehicle weighing 2,150 kilograms in its lightest configuration. The suspension system deserves careful attention because Audi has engineered multiple configurations to suit different priorities. The standard setup uses a 5-link front suspension and a multi-link rear arrangement with adaptive dampers. These aren't simple adjustable dampers. Each damper contains electromagnetic valves that can adjust compression and rebound damping independently in real time. The system samples road conditions every 2 milliseconds and adjusts damper settings accordingly. The result is a suspension that can be simultaneously compliant over small imperfections while remaining controlled during aggressive maneuvers. The optional air suspension takes capability to another level. The system offers 5 ride height positions spanning 90 millimeters of total adjustment. At highway speeds above 120 kilometers per hour, the suspension automatically lowers by 25 millimeters to reduce drag and improve stability. When you engage off-road mode, it rises by 40 millimeters to increase ground clearance to 254 millimeters, providing genuine all-terrain capability. The air suspension also includes a self-leveling function that maintains consistent ride height regardless of load, a practical benefit when you're carrying passengers and luggage. The steering system uses electromechanical assistance with variable ratio technology. At low speeds, the ratio quickens to 13.8 to 1. Reducing the effort required for parking and low-speed maneuvering. At highway speeds, the ratio extends to 17.2 to 1, providing stability and reducing the need for constant correction. The system also offers variable steering effort with 5 distinct settings ranging from comfortable, which requires minimal effort, to dynamic, which provides substantial resistance and more direct road feel. For enthusiasts, and I know many of you fall into this category, the dynamic setting provides communication that's increasingly rare in modern luxury SUVs. Now, let's address the technology that most manufacturers get wrong: driver assistance systems. Audi has taken a measured approach here, providing capable systems without overwhelming the driver or creating frustration through overly aggressive interventions. The adaptive cruise control system uses a combination of radar, LiDAR, and camera inputs to maintain distance from vehicles ahead while adapting speed to traffic conditions. But Audi has refined the system's behavior to feel more natural, accelerating and decelerating more smoothly than previous generations. The system can handle stop-and-go traffic completely autonomously at speeds up to 60 kilometers per hour, a practical benefit in urban environments. The lane keeping assistance system, often a source of irritation in many vehicles, has been calibrated to provide gentle guidance rather than aggressive correction. The system uses the cameras to monitor lane position and provides subtle steering inputs to keep you centered. But if you intentionally cross a lane marking, perhaps to avoid a pothole or debris, the system recognizes your input and doesn't fight you. It's the kind of refined behavior that separates well-engineered systems from those that feel like they're working against the driver. The parking assistance suite includes 12 ultrasonic sensors and 4 surround view cameras, providing a 360-degree view of your surroundings. The system can autonomously park in parallel or perpendicular spaces, but Audi has added a feature that's genuinely useful: remote parking via your smartphone. You can stand outside the vehicle and direct it into a tight parking space, using your phone as a controller. The system works at speeds up to 7 km per hour and can maneuver in spaces that would be challenging or impossible if you were seated inside. But here's where it gets really interesting from a safety perspective. Audi has introduced what they call predictive active safety technology. The system doesn't just react to immediate threats, it anticipates potential hazards before they develop. Using a combination of sensor data and vehicle-to-vehicle communication, the system can detect situations developing ahead that might require evasive action. If a vehicle 3 cars ahead suddenly brakes hard, the system pre-tensions the seatbelts and prepares the brake system before you even see brake lights. It's the kind of proactive safety technology that could genuinely prevent accidents rather than just mitigating their consequences. Now, we need to discuss what this vehicle means in the context of its competition, because that's ultimately how you'll be making your purchasing decision. The BMW X6, particularly in M50i specification, offers similar performance with 523 horsepower from its twin-turbo V8. It's a formidable competitor with dynamic capabilities that appeal to driving enthusiasts. But the X6 can't match the Q8's interior refinement or its advanced aerodynamics. The BMW achieves a drag coefficient of 0.35, measurably higher than the Q8's 0.31. Over the course of ownership, that difference translates to real-world fuel economy improvements of approximately 8%. The Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe, especially in AMG 53 configuration, brings a different approach with its inline-6 engine and EQ boost technology. It's smooth, refined, and undeniably luxurious. But the GLE Coupe's interior, despite recent updates, feels more traditional compared to the Q8's digital-forward approach. If you're someone who appreciates the latest technology and seamless integration, the Q8 offers a more contemporary experience. The Mercedes also weighs approximately 90 kilograms more than the Q8 in comparable specification, a difference you'll feel in dynamic situations and at the fuel pump. The Range Rover Sport represents the other end of the spectrum, prioritizing off-road capability and British luxury refinement. It's a magnificent vehicle with capabilities the Q8 can't quite match in serious off-road situations. But the Range Rover Sport's reliability record, and let's be honest about this, doesn't inspire the same confidence as Audi's German engineering. If you're keeping this vehicle for 7 to 10 years, and many of you will be, that reliability consideration becomes increasingly important. The Q8 also offers more advanced driver assistance technology and a more sophisticated infotainment system than the current Range Rover Sport. Let's talk about value, because at this price point, value isn't about being inexpensive. It's about receiving appropriate return on your investment. The 2027 Q8 pricing starts at €76,500 for the base V6 model, or approximately $82,000, depending on market and exchange rates. The SQ8 with its V8 commands €94,000, or around $101,000. The fully electric Q8 e-tron, representing the top of the range, is priced at €108,000, or approximately $116,000. These prices position the Q8 competitively against its German rivals while undercutting the Range Rover Sport by a meaningful margin. But initial purchase price tells only part of the value story. Audi's projected residual values for the Q8 are strong, with the company estimating 56% retention after 3 years and 48,000 kilometers. That's competitive with the BMW X6 and superior to the Mercedes GLE Coupe's projected 52% retention. The electric Q8 e-tron, despite concerns about EV depreciation, benefits from Audi's 8-year, 160,000 kilometer battery warranty, providing confidence in long-term value retention. Maintenance costs represent another important consideration. Audi has extended service intervals to 30,000 kilometers or 2 years, whichever comes first. The company has also introduced a comprehensive maintenance program that covers scheduled service for the first 5 years, or 75,000 kilometers. This isn't available on all competitors and represents real value for owners who prefer predictable ownership costs. The electric Q8 e-tron, of course, requires minimal scheduled maintenance beyond tire rotation, brake fluid changes, and cabin filter replacement, potentially saving thousands over the ownership period. The Q8's build quality deserves discussion because this is where German engineering excellence becomes tangible. Audi assembles the Q8 at their Bratislava facility in Slovakia, a plant that consistently ranks among the highest in quality metrics within the Volkswagen Group. The body structure uses a combination of ultra-high-strength steel and aluminum, with aluminum comprising 42% of the body in white. This hybrid construction provides both strength and weight reduction while optimizing crash performance. The paint process includes 8 separate steps, resulting in a finish thickness of 120 microns, providing excellent corrosion resistance and visual depth. Interior assembly quality meets standards that rival any luxury manufacturer. Panel gaps are consistently held to tolerances below 3.5 millimeters. The leather and trim materials are precisely matched, with Audi's quality control rejecting any hide with even minor imperfections. The result is an interior that feels meticulously crafted, rather than merely assembled. These details matter over years of ownership, as high-quality materials age gracefully rather than showing premature wear. Production begins in March 2027 for European markets, with vehicles reaching dealers by early May. North American deliveries commence in July 2027, allowing Audi to optimize production and ensure adequate supply. Asian markets, including China and Japan, received their first vehicles in September 2027. The staggered launch reflects Audi's strategy of ensuring quality over speed, allowing them to refine production processes and address any early issues before expanding distribution. Audi expects initial demand to exceed production capacity, particularly for the SQ8 and Q8 e-tron variants. If you're seriously considering this vehicle, engaging with your dealer early in the process will be important. Audi is accepting reservations now, with a fully refundable deposit securing your place in the production queue. Based on current projections, customers ordering today can expect delivery within 4 to 6 months, depending on specification and market. The color palette offers 12 exterior options, ranging from conservative shades like Mythos Black and Glacier White to more expressive choices like District Green and Ascari Blue. Audi's premium paint options, including the new Manhattan Gray Metallic, command a €1,200 premium, but provide depth and luster that standard colors can't match. The interior offers 6 color combinations, each carefully curated to provide visual harmony and timeless appeal. The Sega beige interior, in particular, creates a sense of airiness and space that complements the architecture beautifully. Wheel options span from 19 to 23 inches, with the base 19-inch design providing the best balance of ride quality and visual presence. The optional 21-inch wheels, particularly the 5-arm dynamic design, transform the vehicle's stance without compromising ride quality significantly. The 23-inch wheels, available on S-Line Plus packages, are genuinely stunning but do impact ride quality on rough surfaces. For daily driving, especially if your local roads are less than perfect, the 21-inch wheels represent the sweet spot.